We're all born knowing how to breathe. It's a very natural occurrence, but there's more to it than just inhale and exhale, and that at least is what proponents of breathwork believe.
Well, the theory is that when you breathe in, you create a certain pattern using special techniques, and this can benefit you psychologically and spiritually as well.
So breathwork practitioners also believe that in stressful situations, people hold their breath without realizing it, but instead of doing this, you actually need to breathe through those situations, and the effects can apparently be amazing, at least according to our next guest, Australian therapist John Stamolous, and also Singapore breathworker Angie. Let's welcome them.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show. So, John, we're going to start off with you. I mean, tell us, breathwork, really, sounds like we know how to do it already because we all breathe in and out. What is different? What are you...
Okay, well, with this particular technique, what happens is you breathe in a particular pattern, and the pattern is connected. You know, when you normally breathe, you breathe in, there's a pause, you breathe out. But in this process, it's continuous breathing, but the focus is on the inhale. You control the inhale, relax the exhale. And you do this for about 45 minutes to an hour. And what happens is the client tends to go into a very conscious, altered state of awareness.
45 minutes to an hour of conscious breathing. Is that what you're asking us to do? It's almost like meditation, isn't it, Angie?
Something similar, but the thing is that it actually goes deeper. It actually helps you to release stress, release the tension in your body, and also get more in touch with your feelings and your emotion.
But I guess if you can sit still for 45 minutes and do nothing but just breathe, you would be calm anyway.
Calm.
Because
Definitely. Most people find it very difficult to do that.
Okay.
Right.
Maybe you can just demonstrate for us. What do you mean by control, inhale, and exhale?
Okay.
Would that be possible?
So, for example, if Angie had come in for a session, normally she would lie down, but you can do seated breathwork techniques. The breath is done high up into the chest. Normally people breathe quite shallow, but what happens is she needs to focus breathing deeply with a connected breathing pattern. It's from the mouth is open and relaxed, and see her rib cage here is expanding, so it's really pulling it in, pulling in the breath and then relaxing the exhale.
When you exhale through your mouth or through your nose?
It's from the mouth.
From
in
the mouth.
from the mouth and out from the mouth as well.
Okay, so you do this, I guess, in a rhythm. You sort of build up a pattern. Should you be thinking about something or not?
No, not at all. Whatever. It's like clouds that pass through. Just observe them. That's all.
Because I guess if you're still thinking about that email you have to respond to, and it doesn't really work, does it?
And you know what? That will happen initially. A lot of people start to get random thoughts, especially everyday life. It just comes up into the forefront. You just observe it, pay attention to it, and just let it pass.
Okay. So give us a deeper understanding then. What actually happens to our body state of mind when you're actually going through this breathing technique that gives you the ideal outcome?
Angie, do you want to answer that one?
I think what happens in your body is that when you breathe so deeply, your body actually takes in a lot of oxygen, and you actually start to get connected to a lot of suppressed emotion, which John will share more later on about how actually our birth actually created all this change and trauma in our life. Maybe John, you want to talk about that?
Well, the first breath that we ever take is when we are born, and normally we create patterns. So if your breath was quite painful, then neurologically you set down a pattern, and you may not breathe quite deep, so you breathe quite shallow. And of course we need oxygen in order for us to survive and to live fully. You know, when you're stressed, your body tends to curl over and become quite tight, so then you restrict a lot of oxygen going to your organs. And that's why we believe by correcting the breathing through this particular technique, you can just allow more energy to flow and have more states of relaxation.
Is it something that you can see immediate effect, or is it something that you need to do it over a long time, then you see this effect taking place?
Well, this is a technique that usually people will learn. We always suggest you do 10 private sessions in order for you to feel safe enough to be able to explore this process and use it whenever you want.
You mentioned sort of going back, triggering memories from the past. I mean, how does that happen? Because just by breathing, you're going, I guess your breathing is allowing you to activate...
Well, what happens from my experience is people go into very deep altered states of awareness, and the subconscious gating system tends to open up with memories. Sometimes we play music that will stimulate these memories, like evocative music, or usually before people might have an intention, I might talk to them about what was their birth process like, or their early childhood like. And by discussing this stuff, it comes up, and then during the process, it can also then release through your body. using
Are
the
you
breath.
saying that through breathing you can actually have an aha moment?
Definitely.
And
yeah.
when you really suppress emotions, you actually realize things that you don't. I mean, can you get angry after a breathing session because you realize something that you
Yeah,
didn't
look,
before?
sometimes things can come up, but it's about taking responsibility. It's about making better choices and realizing, hey, you know, this anger's come up and this memory's come up. How do what choice can I make right now? How can I let it go? Do I need to forgive someone, maybe? Do I need to go and do some counseling if there's something really traumatic?
But is it
that's come
accurate?
up?
What if I may imagine something that actually didn't happen, and I don't know I'm doing it just because
Possible,
you're in
yeah.
that state, you know?
Ooh, I mean, look, some people sort of will come out and say, did I really see that? Did that really happen? And then I just think it's just allow yourself to integrate and see, you know, is there anything significant there that you can take out of that and work on?
So both of you counsel busy executives, especially, I mean, you recommended this technique to stress out executives, but what do you do when you are facing a stressful situation and you do feel yourself, you know, building up inside tension?
And you don't have 45 minutes.
You don't have an hour.
You have a minute.
Yes, you don't need a 45 minutes to do a full session. Normally when I feel that I'm stressed, what I do is really just take a few deep breaths, and that really helps. You know, it's just, I think through the technique, you learn to be very conscious of the way I breathe for myself, and I will be very aware that, okay, I'm holding my breath, let's say in a stressful situation. I'll learn to, okay, stop, take a few deep breaths, and be connected back to my body, and that will actually be able to help me to deal through the situation. Yeah.
But deep breaths and heavy breathing, can it, you know, result in hyperventilation? Does that happen?
Now, one thing that I need to be really clear here is that breath work is definitely not hyperventilation. In breath work, the emphasis is on controlling the inhale and relaxing the exhale, where hyperventilation is, of course, you know, the exhale that just continuously happens. So no, nothing to do with hyperventilation at all.
So it sounds very similar to other forms of you know, meditation, yoga. I mean, it doesn't seem all that unique in the sense that when we do those other forms of exercises, we have to do breathing, which is like this. So I mean, what else is sort of makes this unique? What is
The difference with this is that you're not moving. So, for example, in yoga, there is breathing and, of course, movement. In meditation, there is, from my experience, there is breathing, but the breathing isn't as deep and connected. So this is continuously connecting, and so basically the chi builds up in your body, the life force keeps building up, but you're not moving. So it starts to push through. I always visualize like a river flowing with pure water, and when we breathe, it just pumps through the body, and wherever there's blockages, it'll start to surface and come up. So usually they come up as physical feelings, emotional feelings, it could be thoughts that come up into the forefront.
Okay, well, thank you so much, both, for coming in this morning. I mean, breathing can be powerful. We all know
Take
the
it for
effects of
granted.
breathing.
Yeah,
We
that's
do
true.
breathe in and out to when we are anxious, but, you know, to take it to the next level, I suppose, takes a lot of consciousness.
Yeah, well, if you can sit there and just go, okay, it always helps.
Yeah.
John and Angie there just sharing with us. If you are in Singapore tomorrow evening and perhaps you're interested to find out more about breath work and the sessions that happen here, you can contact Cherry Chu at the number on your screen right now. There'll be a session tomorrow evening from 7 to 10:30 p.m.